The Galactic Academy's testing facility hummed with the quiet efficiency of 1,000 species coexisting in educational harmony. Lisa Martinez stood in the neural response chamber, her human frame dwarfed by the towering Crithian beside her and the crystalline Vexor floating to her left. She tried not to fidget with the sensor bands wrapped around her wrists. Next phase: spatial awareness and reflexive response, droned the automated voice in perfect universal standard. Charles Way watched from the observation deck above, his tablet displaying Lisa's biosigns. As her assigned partner for the Xenobiology Exchange Program, he'd spent the last 3 months helping her prepare for these evaluations. The other human in a cohort of 200 aliens, he knew exactly what she was feeling. "She'll be fine," murmured Professor Qualthor, the Sevrine administrator whose tentacles tapped nervously against his datapad. "Though I confess, your species' results have been statistically unusual." Charles had heard that before. Unusual, anomalous, unexpected. Humans had been part of the galactic community for only 15 years, and apparently, they were still full of surprises. In the chamber below, a maintenance drone malfunctioned. It was a small thing, no larger than a football, equipped with gravitational stabilizers that kept it hovering precisely 1 meter above the ground. Charles watched as one of those stabilizers sparked, sputtered, and died. The drone dropped. What happened next occurred in the span of a heartbeat. Lisa's hand shot out with impossible speed, fingers wrapping around the drone's chassis before it could fall 1/2 meter. She caught it one-handed, her body twisting with fluid grace, knees bending to absorb momentum that shouldn't have needed absorbing. The whole movement was smooth, economical, instinctive. Every being in the observation deck froze. The testing chamber's scanners, designed to measure reaction times across 300 known species, erupted in a cascade of alerts. Red warning symbols flooded the holographic displays. The main screen, visible to everyone present, printed 3 words in stark crimson letters: Earth Reflex Anomaly. Professor Qualthor's tentacles went rigid. That shouldn't be possible. Charles felt his heart hammering. He'd seen Lisa catch dropped coffee cups, snag falling styluses, react to things before he'd even registered they were happening. He'd thought she was just quick. Everyone on Earth was just quick, weren't they? "Her neural transmission speed," whispered a Diluvian researcher, their voice trembling with academic excitement. "It registered at 0.03 seconds from visual stimulus to motor response. The galactic average is 0.21 seconds. Even the Crithian warrior caste, bred for combat, averages 0.15. "Run it again," Qualthor commanded. There must be an error. They ran it again, and again. Each time, they dropped objects from different angles, different heights, with different speeds. Each time, Lisa caught them. Her reaction time never varied by more than a few hundredths of a second, impossibly, inexplicably fast. By the 5th test, Lisa was visibly confused. "Is something wrong? Should I be letting them fall?" Charles descended to the chamber floor, his own clearance badge granting him access. He found Lisa surrounded by a cluster of xenobiologists, all chittering, clicking, and speaking in excited overlapping voices. "Charles," Lisa said, relief flooding her face. "What's happening?" "Your reaction time," said Professor Qualthor, his translator struggling to convey the awe in his native tongue. "It's unprecedented. We've tested 300 species over 2,000 years of galactic integration. None have demonstrated reflexes like this. But I'm not even fast," Lisa protested. "My brother's a boxer. My cousin does parkour. They're way quicker than me." The observation deck went silent. "Your entire species?" breathed a Vexor scientist. Charles felt something shift in the room, a sudden recalculation, a cosmic realization spreading through hundreds of minds simultaneously. He thought about humanity's history, about athletes who could snatch arrows from the air, drivers who could react to accidents in split seconds, fighters whose hands moved faster than opponents could process. He thought about humanity's obsession with games of speed, with sports that demanded lightning reactions, with survival mechanisms honed by millennia as persistence hunters on a death world. We need to test the other human, Qualthor said quietly. They tested Charles. His results were identical, 0.03 seconds. Perfectly consistent. Maddeningly impossible by every known xenobiological standard. Earth, murmured a Crithian warrior scholar, his scales rippling with something that might have been respect or fear. Your planet's gravity is 1.2 times galactic standard. Your predator density in evolutionary history was, he consulted his datapad, catastrophically high. Your species survived by being prey that could react faster than anything that hunted it. We're not prey, Lisa said softly. No, agreed the Crithian. You're not. Not anymore. The implications rippled outward. If human reflexes were this advanced, what else had they evolved that the galaxy considered impossible? In the following weeks, researchers would discover that human visual processing, auditory discrimination, and pain tolerance all fell outside expected parameters. Humanity, it turned out, was a species forged in a crucible that made most of galactic civilization look gentle, but in that moment, standing in the testing chamber while scientists from a dozen worlds stared at them with newfound understanding, Lisa just looked at Charles and laughed. We're anomalies, she said. Apparently, Charles replied, grinning. Though back home, we just call it having good reflexes. Professor Qualthor's tentacles performed what might have been the Sivrine equivalent of a resigned shrug. Perhaps, he said carefully, we should reconsider which events humans are allowed to participate in at the Galactic Games. Why? Lisa asked innocently. Because, the professor said, I suspect you're going to win all of them. As it turned out, he was right. But that's another story.